What's good, YouTube? Akil here, back with another video. And as you guys know, I recently started going back to the thrift stores just on a more consistent basis. So if you guys are interested in these type of thrift store videos, these type of trip to the thrifts, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's get into it. So we are in the thrift, and the first thing I came across was this Kodak Pleaser instant camera. Now, as you guys know, I sell a ton of vintage cameras, and I actually never came across one of these in the past, but this one was only $10. But after checking the comps, they were only selling for like 15. So even though it looked kind of cool, I had to put that one back. Next, I came across this some sealed media, which is actually the New Testament of the Bible, just the audio version. And as you guys can see, Goodwill was selling it for $5. This thrift store selling it for $1. And since most sealed media usually does sell pretty well for me, I'll take a chance on that one. So next to that, I came across this wireless modem from CenturyLink, and I'm not gonna say it was brand new in the box, even though it did include the box and everything else, but it just looked like it was repackaged. But this one should definitely bring in some good profit. I've sold a ton of wireless modems in the past. Some sell a little better than others, but since this one includes the wires and the charging cable, everything that you need, this should definitely bring in some good profit. Next to that, I came across this Ninja coffee maker, and I had to check the comps on these because I'm more familiar with the Ninja for their like blenders and smoothie makers and stuff like that. I actually have one in the house now. So once I seen that they actually had a coffee maker, I had to check the comps on this one. And they were selling, I seen some sell for as low as like 30, and then I seen others sell for about $50. The downside to coffee makers is that sometimes they may have like mildew or mold. So you definitely got to be super cautious when you're dealing with those type of stuff. So next, finding a ton of electronics today. Next was this like TiVo Mini, and it was actually taped to another TiVo, like another TiVo accessory, and it included both remotes, and both of them are only $4.99. So I know the TiVo Mini surprisingly still sells for like $70. And then the other one underneath it, I'll show you guys what that one is called. I believe it's called the Romeo Oda. That one I seen pretty high comps for as well. So I'm definitely going to be grabbing both of those up for only $4.99. Came across some vintage soccer cleats, and I usually don't pick up soccer cleats, not as often as I used to, but since these were from 2007, I guess you wouldn't necessarily call these vintage, but I'm definitely going to put vintage in the keywords here on eBay. But these vintage cleats, they usually do sell for some good profit. The comps were kind of tricky. Some were selling for like 60. Some people had them listed for like 100, but I'll definitely be picking these up for only $5. Now here's something else I probably would have took a chance on, but Timberland loafers and just shoes like that in general usually don't sell that fast for me. So even though the price was pretty good at $5, I don't foresee that selling pretty quickly. So I'm gonna just put those back, and the comps are usually only $20 for those. So next was a huge find. This one was insane. I always try to check the bags anytime I'm in these thrift stores, and this was actually a Mont Blanc leather briefcase, and as you guys can see, only $2.99, and the leather quality on this one was amazing. Now I'm more familiar with Mont Blanc for like their pens and like their stationery and stuff like that. They usually have a lot of high quality stuff, but this bag was amazing. So $2.99, absolutely going to be taking this one. If I needed a bag, I probably would have kept it, but I'm gonna have to check the comps on these because I'm pretty sure this one should sell for at least over $100. So since I'm still in the leather goods section, still wanted to check out this briefcase. This other one looked pretty nice. The quality looked pretty rich as well, but it just had some, normal signs of wear. It looked like somebody had this briefcase for a few years, so it was definitely well loved in the past. But this brand, Chaos Leather Collection, the comps weren't that strong. I seen some people have it listed for like $20. Others had it for like 25. So it wasn't that strong, and I didn't see a ton of sales, so I ended up just leaving that one. Now, I always try to check out some of these like embroidered robes. This is something very random that I saw when I was on my way out of the store, but I just had to check this one out. This one didn't really sell for much, but just a quick tip, you guys definitely got to check some of these robes out, some of these silk robes with any like embroidery on the back, because I've sold some in the past for like $50-$60. So anytime I see them, I always take a chance on them and check it out. But that one just wasn't worth it. We ended up coming across this Pro Line like Cowboys, almost like a windbreaker, but I guess you could just call it like a pullover jacket. These type of jackets usually, they used to sell pretty well for me. And of course the cowboys are super popular, but this one was just a little too plain. If it had maybe like a bigger star, or maybe, just some more pizzazz about it, I probably would have took a chance on it, but just too plain for me. Now this one was insane. Now shout out to BG. He definitely told me just start spending some more time in some of like the knickknack sections of some of these thrift stores, and they actually had this in the home decor section. Now this brand is called Arteriors, and after checking the comps on these, I was amazed. I was completely blown away because I actually really did like this. And as you guys know, I just moved into a new house, so I'm trying to see if we can kind of get some stuff from the thrift store as well as like buying brand new furniture. But I was actually going to pick this up for the house until I seen the comps on this one. So even though these aren't in the best shape, I should still be able to flip those for some decent profit. Now next up, right when I was about to leave the store, I seen this vintage Schwinn bike. And I've sold bikes in the past. I'm not like a bike connoisseur by any means, but certain bikes you can just look at and just automatically know it's worth something. And this one wasn't in the best shape, but for 35 bucks, I figured it would be worth, at least giving it a shot, because overall it was in pretty decent shape. The brakes still worked. It had some flaws on this. I'll get into the more details a little later. But for the most part, I figured it would be worth, maybe at least 150, maybe 200 bucks after I get it fixed up. And my wife wanted to give it a little test ride, make sure that it was working. And as you guys can see, the tire was flat, but still riding pretty smooth. And as you guys know, I don't got a truck or anything, so I had to squeeze this bad boy in the back seat. Alright y'all, so as you guys can see, we are back in the crib, and I grabbed up a few decent things from this last trip to the thrift. I didn't stay in there too long, so I didn't have a ton of finds, but I really got some quality items. So starting off is this Mont Blanc leather briefcase. Now I told you guys in the video, this leather briefcase, the quality on this one is amazing, and the fact that it was only $2.99 makes it that much better for me. So the good thing is, of course, it includes the original straps. Sometimes when I come across like briefcases and leather bags, either the leather strap, some type of accessory, additional accessory is usually missing. This one had everything. And after checking the comps, of course, no flaws at all with this one. Somebody probably used this maybe 2 or 3 times, but after checking the comps, I seen these selling for like 200 bucks. I even seen some sell as high as like 300 or 400 bucks. People have these listed really expensive. So I don't know how much I'm gonna actually list this for. Probably gonna price it maybe closer to that $200 mark and just wait until the right buyer comes along. But something like this one is really dope. And like I say all the time, if I was still wearing suits and going to an office every day, this is something I would have absolutely kept it in the personal collection. But as of right now, I have no real need for stuff like this, so definitely going to be listing this one up on eBay, and I might list this one up on Poshmark as well. So next up, as you guys can see, we grabbed up 3 of these like home decor pieces, all from the brand Arteriors. I definitely wasn't familiar with this brand in the past. I'm not even one to sell a ton of like home decor or home goods. I've sold some like glass decorative pieces in the past for like 50 or 60 bucks, but this one, after seeing the comps, I seen some of their stuff listed for like 200 bucks. So definitely something kind of rare and a first for me, but it's definitely something that I had to take a chance on, especially since this is something that I would have liked to keep in the house. But at the end of the day, after seeing how much these are selling for, these will definitely get sold. And like I said, these weren't in the best condition. As I showed you guys in the video, they were actually kind of like shaky, but the good thing is I just had to twist the top and kind of tighten it, and now it's much more sturdy. But the only downside to it is that one of these actually did have just a couple minor chips and some little small cracks in the back. But it's nothing too major, but it will absolutely still affect the price, especially when it comes to decorative pieces like this. The person that's usually shopping for this, they kind of, they have a very specific taste. So any kind of little flaws, little damages will definitely impact the price. So I might get something closer to maybe 100 bucks for these, maybe a little more, but at the end of the day, still a really good find for only $2.99 a piece. Next up, I came across 2 of these TiVo products, and I definitely wasn't too familiar with TiVo. I haven't sold much of these stuff in the past, but the good thing is the comps on these were really strong. This one is the TiVo Mini, and the comps on this was anywhere between like 50 to as high as 80 bucks. Thankfully, this one does include the power supply and the actual remote, so that should definitely add some value to this one. And this one is the TiVo Romeo, and this one also has the remote and the power supply, and the comps for this one was somewhere between like 60 and 80 bucks as well. So I should definitely be able to bring in at least maybe between 120 and 150 after all is said and done, especially since both of these have the remotes. And the good thing is that both of these were taped together for only $5. Next up, we got some sealed media for only $1. And anytime I come across sealed media, I always have to check the comps on these, because some stuff that's brand new usually does bring in some good money. And this one, I seen the comps on these. The comps weren't the best. I seen a ton of people have stuff like this, like similar to this listed. They were used selling for like $15. But since this is brand new, I'm gonna list this for $29.99 and just wait till the right buyer comes along. Other people have similar ones listed just as high. Some is even a little higher than that. So we'll see how long these actually take to sell. Next, came across this pair of Nike Tiempo leather soccer cleats, and these were in really good condition. Just had some minor little stains that I was able to clean up really quickly. Only downside to these is that I didn't see a ton of comps with these, and the last time I had a pair of leather soccer cleats from like the mid to early 2000s, those sold for $100, but it took like 6 months for them to sell. So since this one was only $5, I figured I might as well take a chance on it. And if it takes a little while to sell, it is what it is. Alright, y'all, just wanted to show you guys the Schwinn that we picked up earlier today. This one was actually dated 1974, and the funny thing is it actually included the manual. Clearly this bike has been used before, but this person probably just wanted to show that they included the actual owner's manual, which was still a nice little touch. Paid $35 for this, and the only downside is that one of the brakes are working really good. It's still really nice and tight, but this other brake right here definitely needs some repair. Just seen one of the chains that was kind of dangling from this. This definitely isn't supposed to be like this. So like I said earlier in the video, I'm not like a bike connoisseur or like a bike repairman or anything like that. So I'm gonna have to do some research and see if I can get this fixed, or if I might just be able to list this as is. But it is what it is. Definitely still a really good pickup for only $35. And if I do flip this, I know my wife was interested in it, so I might just have to fix it up and let her keep it. But if we do go ahead and sell this one should sell for at least, I'm gonna go more conservative and say at least $150, since, you know, a brake job and stuff like that shouldn't be too costly. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted on this one. I actually stopped flipping a lot of bigger items, but as you guys know, I'm starting to get more active on sites like OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. So I'll put it up there and see if anybody locally is interested, and I'll keep you guys updated on how fast it sells. Alright, y'all, that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.